So I started volunteering with the Gambia because I wanted to do some more e-volunteering and I wanted to find a way of using my background in financial services to see if I could help people in developing countries. So although my experience was mainly in pensions, I did have an understanding of basic business development, budgeting, and so on. And I found that this was what the women in the Gambia needed. They needed to learn about budgeting, and particularly, they needed to learn about costing the food that they were making to sell. I found that at the beginning, they really didn't have the basic understanding that practically everybody in educated people, should I say, perhaps in the UK, would have about the difference, for example, between selling something and taking in some money and thinking, oh, that's all profit, because obviously it isn't. They weren't thinking, oh, we've spent so much on the ingredients and then we've sold it for so much. We've got to work out the profit. Originally, they weren't keeping detailed financial records, so they'd no idea really whether they were charging enough for their food. So we started at a very basic level, looking at the cost of each of the ingredients, working out how much ingredient went into each of the meals they were providing, and therefore working out what they should be charging. So it was very basic for us, but I think it was helpful for the women in the Gambia. They needed to understand the difference between sales revenue and profit, and also between cash in hand and profit. Because in the Gambia, everything is a cash economy, they're not used to having bank accounts and so on. Their understanding of, oh, we've taken so much money today, but we've spent some of it on ingredients for tomorrow. Oh dear, what's our profit? And I had to go through people the different things they needed to record so they could understand how their business was progressing. Because I was working as an e-volunteer, it was quite difficult. For example, I didn't feel that I could start explaining to them how to use an Excel spreadsheet. So they were doing all this with pen and paper. But I knew that another volunteer was actually going out to volunteer in the Gambia in the near future who had a good understanding of business finance. And she, I know, was able then to show them how to use a spreadsheet. So you can see how e-volunteering can lead on to in-person volunteering, and it all works together to help the people here in the Gambia.